Right, welcome back. Last time, we didn't do that much ourselves. We mainly were busy pulling down revolts. And, getting dragged into wars by our allies. Which is part of the reason why I'm not allied with Muscovy anymore. Because stuff happens. Specifically with Kirim coming back from Luz, that's, basically just these provinces now. Yeah. Oh, and we have Multani Persia now too. Feast your eyes upon this horror. Seriously, I'm about to get a border with Multan. In the Caucasus, of all places. Which is really weird. Yeah. Decked up, grabbed colonialism ideas. Next I'll probably grab culture ideas. If I have enough diplo points, or if I start overflowing on mill points, which looks like I might just go ahead and grab another military idea group, specifically professional army ideas. Wait, why can't I pick up... Oh, so if you pick up quality, you can't pick up quantity anymore. Huh, so they made the two mutually exclusive. They need to update this chart at some point. That is for certain. Oh wait, I've got global domain now. Okay. So what does it give me? Increased exotics demand and production, reduced unrest, reduced pathing infrastructure and harborage cost, and naval barrage cost. Improved trade steering and merchant trade power. Even more merchant trade power, wow. Envoy travel time reduction of 10% and plus 10% movement speed on and off ships. Blockade efficiency plus 10%. Oh, that's a new one. Ship trade power propagation plus 10%. Land attrition minus 10%, leaders without upkeep plus 2. Ooh, that one's interesting. It's the promise of empire. It's not a colony, we promise. Ship trade power plus 20%. And as a finisher, plus 2 diplomats. I mean, with fortification ideas, you get plus 4 merchant trade power, which is absurd. The amount of power you can get in random nodes with that. The thing is, it's a late game idea group, so because it's only locked around this time in the early 1600s. Of course, in places like Lake Chad, where 24 happens to be 20% of the trade power, getting an extra 4 trade power is actually quite a bit. But others, well, I mean the Aegean Sea node. 147 is considered 66% of the node. I mean, the Adriatic Sea has like 200 trade power concentrated into it. Yeah. Well, let's get on with it. Cherkessia is being integrated because I'm converting their provinces all to be majority Orthodox. And Kartvelia is next. That way I can start taking on more subject states. I'm hoping Kiev ends up integrating Kiev because... Kirim? Yeah. Kiev ends up integrating Kirim because they vassalize them as part of the peace deal. And once they do that, I can go ahead and diplo-vassalize Kiev, which would be great. Just like Romania, they would be a very large supporting force. And putting them under my direct control allows me to further expand and weaken Austria, and strengthening myself at the same time. Both of which at the same, well, having both at the same time would greatly improve my abilities. Alright, I guess it's time to start yet another massive war. Naples is only allied to Trieste and Austria. Austria is kind of terrifying in that they have several subjects. Well, not that they have a lot of troops, and they have quite a few subjects, though none of which are particularly strong. They're still there. Also, they're guaranteed by Savoy. who doesn't have any subjects whatsoever, but is guaranteeing their independence and has plenty of troops. Should be able to win though. May not be the easiest of fights. Oh well. Let me just check for which one have local fortifications. Okay, Umbria has local fortifications, though the interface is a little broken. If they have local fortifications, it's a bit easier for me to handle things. You go up north and deal with Austria. I could actually use that in order to... the war in order to grab provinces for Bulgaria. Especially since I really have next to no aggressive expansion in Europe anyway, because I don't delve very far in there. Oh, okay, so there's local fortifications here too. Because I find it unlikely that these troops will be able to consistently survive on their own. That well. Probably could also hand over provinces to Romania, though they haven't... I haven't selected them, so they're not going to have an easy time with that. Right, grab tech. School teachers reduced corruption, state corruption. The quadrant, naval force on the plus 5%, unlock so discontent. Oh boy, I'm gonna be hit with that a lot. Plus 50 colonial range, plus 100 change range. And shock cavalry. Combat with plus 2, maneuver plus 15%, cavalry shock plus 0.2 enables the flying batteries. So my artillery will be more effective. Looks like I picked up a heavy ship in the process. Right, this is a good point to stop. So, the war ended with Servan, and I got the Sinai as a result. Didn't exactly want that, but I guess I'll grab it anyway. I also annexed Cherkessia and am in the process of doing the same to Kartvelia. I probably should get that transport somewhere. So, I decided to declare war on Napoli. Thing is, something I didn't realize? Yeah, they're part of the HRE. And Austria was, it's been replaced by Bohemia, but Austria was the emperor. So, I mean, they were already allied to Austria, so I didn't really notice. But now I'm fighting all of Austria's allies, so that means, you know, Savoy and Brittany as well. So I am fighting by the skin of my teeth here a bit. And I'm very reliant on ensuring that Napoli has no army. And Taking war score, which I just lost because I managed to... they managed to win a 14% siege. I was trying to wait on, you know, them getting distracted because they keep going after Napoli for some reason. No, Campania. Neapolis, however you want to call it. Actually, yeah, I should bring the transport over. I mean, there's a chance that I'll lose it, but... teched up. Didn't exactly need much. I mean, I do get a new artillery, but... Artillery isn't particularly effective in combat yet. Gotta wait a few years for that. It's at tech level 45 where they start to become competitive. And tech level 47 is when they start to become dominant. Tech level 50 is, you know, yet another boost upon that. And yeah. It's +2 fire. It's that +2 fire of tech level 47. But that won't happen until 1660, so no use worrying about that yet. Other than that, there's not really much to say here. Yeah. I've got a lot of generals because I have a lot of mill points and not that much open space for it, so I was burning it because otherwise it would not be much point. I'm also beginning to have sight in Central Africa now, thanks to spread of knowledge, so I can see that Portugal just stuck with the coastline and maybe a province into it. They certainly didn't go farther than a full state in, so... And Lundu is ridiculous. Well, that's to be expected. For some reason, they have a huge starting population. As I think these are their... Yeah, the primary culture is the Nyaza culture, and they start around here-ish, and they have just a huge amount of population available to them. And population is king. All things being equal, population is king. Yeah. I'm apparently powerful enough for Great Zhao to rival me. Manchuria has managed to conquer Mongolia. So we might get a new Mongol Empire equivalent from there. I can see all of Japan now, and there's only a few daimyos left. It seems that Nikki is now the shogunate, despite the fact they don't seem to own Kyoto, or do they? Where is Kyoto? Yeah, they don't own Kyoto. But they're powerful enough to claim the shogunate for themselves. Also, Aragon has been attempting to colonize Hokkaido. It looks like. Yeah. I may need to look into heading up there. Aragon also has a third of Taiwan. The other portions are either in progress of being colonized or already taken. It's interesting to see the fact that I'm now can see more. I wonder when I'll start to see the Americas just from spread of discovery. Yeah, so this war is going to take a while. And it's going to be a very pricey on manpower, almost certainly. Expanding west is going to be difficult. I've already known that, but I wasn't expecting it to be this difficult. At the very least, thanks to having so many mill points, I can keep the Damascus rebels down for the time being. I'm sure they don't cause issues. The various factions are doing reasonably well. But to be it's as expected. I've also managed to max out my centralization, which is great. So I get the full effects of all this stuff. Inflation's not an issue, ever. Tech cost is cheap. I am going to have to deal with a lot of corruption, though, and liberty desire, but autonomy's going to be great, too. core creation cost is higher, but I get more income from vassals. Morale is higher, global trade power is higher. I do have more fort maintenance. And I have less promoted cultures, but yeah. So I can, you know, concede things that reduce the gain of centralization without any negatives whatsoever. Oh, and I've hit hegemonic rank. I'm not sure if I had already managed to do that. If it happened a while ago, because I don't think Cherkessia was that much dev. They're not 300 dev. Sure, Circassia and Pagra have a lot of dev to them, but not that much. Yeah, Cherkessia had like 70 dev total. I'm pretty sure it happened when I conquered the Levant. That or a decent portion, or northern Sicily. Yeah. Going into the HRV is going to be very difficult. There's a reason why that generally is avoided. It's usually more trouble than it's worth, but I have no other directions to expand to without incurring large quantities of aggressive expansion. That or fighting Spain. And they're tough. Very tough. But probably not as tough as this. Yeah. This is going to be a long fight, so I need to take my time and be very careful about it. Yeah. Continuing to siege down Naples would be the best option. Fully occupying them would drain their war enthusiasm to the bottom. Due to occupied and besieged provinces, as well as Neapolitan war exhaustion. So removes the Naples is making gains. Yeah. The enemy does have a lot more troops than I do, though. Okay, I say that, I'm looking at this. They actually seem to have a similar amount of troops to me. And I've certainly dealt far more casualties to them than they have to me. Now that might have to do with the sheer quantity of enemies. I mean, I'm actually second in number in the amount of manpower lost, at least due to combat. I might have actually lost the most manpower in total. Let's see here, 25.6, 27.4, plus 3.2 is 28.8. 27.4 versus, what's that, 1.3. Yeah, I've actually lost the most troops in total of anyone here. But the next 5 on the list of most troops lost in this war are all on the enemy side. And Brittany is about 500 troops below me in ranking. Yeah. Plus the amount lost to attrition on their side is double this side, and the amount lost to battle is 2.5 times my side. I may have lost more troops than anyone else, but it's not by much, and my vassals have hardly lost anyone. And I also called in an energy in the war, although I don't know if they've actually done anything yet. Oh well. They're providing more power projection in armies, so which further reduces Naples' war enthusiasm. But yeah, I have gone on long enough. It was a nice war. It was a nice war. A fair fight, though in general you should avoid fair fights, because they tend to be costly. And I'm doing my best to take advantage of as much defensive terrain as I can. And fort mechanics, etc. So, yeah, I'll see you again next time. Until then.